Hello, my dear audience. Welcome to the East West Show, exclusively sponsored by Paul Batelli and B. Aristo. Paul Batelli represents the Italian men's style suit that I'm wearing. Okay, and Aristo 18 is a golf series that combines sports and fashion and culture. Well, anyway, so you are welcome to the discussion about politics today.
Sure.
Speaking of about politics, we are talking about the California election. And within California election, the whole picture though, there is one district, which is the 48th district of the Assembly House, that caused attention. Why? Because number one, people need to see some new hands. Number two, they see quite a blank with that area, with activities of nothing almost come down to zero. I don't want to give a definition about what's happening there, but I do feel that my audience, according to the feedback after that last interview with you, that they say they need to know more about this man, and probably they are ready to pick up someone who, well, who can do a better job,
Sure.
right? So with me today is one of the very top hopeful, most hopeful candidate for that very seat of the 48th District of Assembly House of California, Mr. Corey Allenson. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thanks, Jack.
All right. And I've been hearing news everywhere about your campaign.
Great.
I know that's a very successful campaign so far, right? And well, I know you're ready. That's exactly like the big screen says that he is ready. Ready for what? Ready
Right.
for California. That's a big word. And I want in this show today touch base with you area by area. But first of all, I would like to hear some updated information about your campaign. Please, I believe my audience needs that.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to be here. We're about to hit Labor Day. And when Labor Day comes, you basically have 2 months left of this campaign. You've got all of September and all of October.
And we're in September already.
We basically are, that's right. And those are the busiest 2 months of the campaign. That's when everyone pays attention. That's when everyone gets involved. People start voting in October by mail. So we've done everything that we can do to be prepared for this. We've done tremendous fundraising. We just recently crossed over $100,000 in fundraising, which is an impressive figure that's really gotten Sacramento's attention. Unfortunately, that's only halfway there. We need to raise another $100,000. We need to have even more resources because this district is very big. We've got to get our message out by mail to every voter in the district, and that costs money. So we still are looking for campaign contributions to help us reach our next goal. But we have set up a team in every city in this district. We are working to do phone calling, door knocking, we're attending events, we're having our own campaign events. We're going to have a campaign event in each city in the district that we hope everyone in that city will come out to get a chance to meet with me and give me an opportunity to hear from them about what's important and how I can do a good job as their next assemblyman here in the 48th district, because you're right. Our current assemblyman has really been missing in action. It's unfortunate because Sacramento went back into session for the month of August, and our assemblyman wasn't there. He was absent.
Well, anyway, I'm not, like I said, I'm not giving a conclusion to anything.
We don't know.
I'm just saying how I feel about it.
Yeah.
And plus, about a week ago, I heard from one of the most influential radio stations saying that literally the man is gone. We're gone for better or for worse, we don't know, but he's gone.
Yeah.
Something
well,
like that.
Jack, you're right. The facts speak for themselves. Like I said, all the assemblymen across the state of California went back up to Sacramento to finish the month of August. Our assemblyman wasn't there. And that's really why I'm running. It's because after 6 years of representation like this, I believe the people of our community, you deserve a good representative in Sacramento.
You are right. You're right.
And the people are desperate for that change, for that refreshing new face that will work hard on the issues that matter. And that's why I'm running, is to do that job
especially
for people.
Especially me as a show host at this location, which exactly belongs to the 48th district.
Yeah, we're in the 48th right now.
Yeah, I feel that we are hurting, very much so, because even me and my crew are trying so hard to. To unite all the communities for a better California, for a better district, and our representative is literally gone. That's a very sad story. May God bless him. I don't know what he's up to.
Whatever is
whether
happening,
better or
right.
worse, I don't know. But the thing is that we need somebody available, right?
Yeah, that's
who
right.
you can talk to.
And I'm focused on the future. I'm
Very
focused
good.
on November 8th, on that election, on hopefully being elected to represent these people so that I can work for you for better public schools, stronger job market, safer local communities. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this.
Exactly. Even the number of campaign fundraising is so far so good.
We have done a great job.
Yeah, there's always not a limit to that.
The more money we get in, the more mail we can put out,
do better.
the more voters we can reach.
Of course.
You know, if you want to make sure that someone is successful in a campaign, you have to make sure they have the resources to get that message out to everybody. You know, advertising costs money, mailing costs money,
Of course.
events cost money, but those are the way that you win. That's how you reach all of the voters. Because we found something great, Jack, is that every voter we reach turns into a supporter. So now we just need the resources to reach all of them.
Sure, why don't you use this opportunity to let my audience know your campaign website in case they decide to give you support?
Yeah, please do visit our campaign website, CoreyEllenson.com. Lots of information on there about why I'm running, what my background is, what I want to do for the people of this district, and of course an opportunity to contribute if you can make a financial contribution.
Very good, very. And how about endorsement? And I lately heard some news about your additional endorsement. And
Well,
how about that situation?
Since I was last here, I'm very proud to say that I am endorsed by IPAC, the Indo-Chinese American Political Action Committee. And that's an endorsement that I'm very honored to have. I've been working with Tony Ding and William Su to get to know what are the important issues facing the Asian community here in Southern California. And I'm very honored that they are supporting me because they know that I'm going to work hard for them. And most importantly, they know that I'm going to listen to them and I'm going to partner with them. And we're going to work together to make this community better for everyone.
Even though on average you're talking about representing people.
Yes.
Even though the fact is that the Asian population takes a very small number, still a very small number with the overall population, in California, though, you're talking about a huge portion because Asian Americans in California, especially in Southern California, especially in your district, which is my district too, 48, you're talking about a bigger number as compared to the national average.
Yes.
So their support really make a difference. Don't you think so?
It's a significant part of our community, and it's important that their voice be heard. And I'm listening.
Very good, very good. And I remember this is the third interview that between you and me ever since you.
Yeah, third or fourth, actually.
Third, even fourth, right? And
Yeah.
I know that every time after chatting with you, I feel more confident about this district. I feel better about district because for the past years, it's been kind of getting quiet, very quiet. Positively or negatively, I don't know, but it's getting very quiet. We want you to make a difference, right? So that's why there's lots of people. Any stuff that you on the website can do with like a T-shirt or yard signs or whatever?
Absolutely.
Anything you want to do, want my audience to get a part of it?
Sure, absolutely. We are putting out yard signs very soon. So when you do visit the website, CoreyEllenson.com, there's an opportunity there for you to, again, make a contribution, request a yard sign. We'll go put one in your front yard. You can host an event. You can endorse our campaign. You can work with us. You can join our team and help us get the message out there.
All right, excellent. So in other words, we're helping you, helping us.
Right, absolutely. Right. And if you fill out that information on the website, I'll have your email address, so I'll keep you posted about everything that's happening in the next 2 months.
I see.
It's going to be busy.
Okay, say your website again, please.
CoreyEllenson.com.
Corey Ellenson, one word.
All one
First
word.
name, last name together, all together, one word.
That's right.
.com.
That's it.
That's easy.
Sure.
All right. My dear audience, today I'm so flattered that my good friend Corey Ellenson, the most hopeful candidate. Oh, I hope someday I knock your door, sir. This is Jack. You don't want to say. I don't want you to say, hey, hi, stranger, like that kind of thing.
No way. I'll be here all the time.
Oh, very good, very good. I'm joking. I see the most hopeful candidate of the 48th district of the Assembly House of California, trying to make a difference in California, trying to make a difference in the district. We do pin lots of hope on that. And the fact is that our audience especially constituents in the district, are waiting for a little, we call change.
That's right.
Right,
That's
good. So let's take a very short moment now. When we come back, we'll touch base step by step to get to the bottom, very bottom layer of this, I call the young politician.
Sure. Young public servant.
Young public server. Okay, very good. I like that term. And to see what's in there. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back. Hello, my dear audience, my lovely friends. Welcome back to the East-West Show, exclusively sponsored by Paul Battaglia, Aristo. And Paul Battaglia represents Italian men-style suits, such as the jacket I'm wearing. And Aristo 18 is the series of golf that combines sports and fashion. Altogether culture. So I'm at this show. We're very pleased to have them supporting us, and supporting us also are politicians, our elected officials, and our candidates. And among them, my good friend Corey Ellenson, the most hopeful candidate for California Assembly House 48 seat, is with me today. Sir, once again, welcome to the show.
Great. Yeah.
Very good.
Happy to be here.
Thank you. You just mentioned that you are not a politician, but a young server, public server.
That's right.
Right. That may sound like a term, but in the bottom line, at the bottom line though, they're talking about a different concept, different philosophy. Can you please develop a little bit with that concept?
Well, I think it's all in how you look at this opportunity. Some people look at this seat and they see an opportunity for them to have a big name, to sit in a big chair, and to be this powerful, important person. I see this differently. I see this seat as an opportunity to serve the people of this community. I'm a school board member myself. I've served my local community in Kiwanis, Rotary, teaching, tutoring, charity events. I serve my community as a school board member. This is simply an opportunity for me to do even more. It's an opportunity for me to go to Sacramento, to work on better public schools, to work on a stronger job market and a healthier economy, and to create safer local communities for everyone that lives here. So again, I think it's how you look at it. And for me, it's not about being an assemblyman. I don't care about that. What I care about is doing the work of an assemblyman, having that opportunity.
I like that. I like that.
Thank you.
So being an assemblyman, between being an assemblyman and doing the work of assemblyman,
that's right.
You take it differently.
Big time, absolutely. I see a big distinction there.
Let me put it into concrete situation, exact situation. Suppose if I send you invitation for a public event, right? Would you send your people back to me, say, do I have a chance of speaking? And when the answer is yes, and the second question is that from when to when would be the time of me speaking. And then when the answer comes back, the third question will be, who are before me? What are their ranks? And that goes on, and then is parking reserved, right? And is there any escort at the parking to take me to the stage? Stuff like that. So will you have your staff ask me those questions?
No, not at all.
Why not?
If you invite me to go somewhere,
people do that.
If you invite me to go somewhere, just tell me when and where and I'll be there. If you want me to talk, then I'll talk. If you want me to sit somewhere, then I'll sit there. I can find my own way.
But they say the same thing before they get elected.
Well, again, it's not, for me, it's not about being that guy that has to be treated in a different way. I just want to be Corey, your local assemblyman, who's here to listen to you and here to work for you in Sacramento. The other stuff is not important.
All right, very good. And of course, it may sound like just a promise, but to link that to your former statement that you said a while ago that you see the difference between an assemblyman and doing an assembly work.
That's right. That's right. Everything I do and everything I say, you will hear me talk about public service, not politics.
Okay.
It's not just a line. It's not just an answer to a question. It really is the philosophy behind this whole campaign. It's the whole reason I'm even running for this seat to begin with.
And I would say that you are both fortunate and unfortunate. The part of you being fortunate is that people are dying to see somebody new, to see some concept, some set of mind that is new, that will represent / lead the community to better.
Yes.
And you are unfortunate is that people are caused to be extra alert about your own behavior. Are we picking the same kind of man? Are we making the same kind of mistakes? Those are the questions that automatically come to their minds, my fellow voters, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, your constituents, right? So for examples, and there are lots of controversy about some elected officials, right? And for example, domestic violence, for example, drunk driving. Okay, and the argument in the law's eye may be that I was at that time having a blood content of alcohol of 0.079. Of course, not 0.08. So of course, it was legal. So between the eye of the law, which is the bottom, and the eye of the community to qualify what you just expressed yourself to be a public server, a servant. So how do you adjust or justify your level of standard to yourself, please?
Well, you're absolutely right that the people of this district are very desperate and very hungry for a new representative in state assembly.
Yeah, that's the positive part.
You're right, though. They are expecting a lot because there have been disappointments in the past, and that doesn't bother me at all. I am absolutely ready to live up to your standards. I am absolutely ready to be that representative that the people here want so badly. And you're right, it's not about just saying, well, I followed the law. I didn't break the law. I was within my rights. There's a big difference between that and setting a standard of what's right and what's just. I promise you that for me, it's not just about following the law. It's about setting an example of what kind of behavior we want to model.
You're talking about a role model.
Absolutely. Again, I'm a school board member, so I spend my time around kids.
You know what a role model is.
And I understand how important it is to set a good example for our children. It's not enough to just do what the minimum is. I want to go above and beyond so that the people see what's good and what's right. I want them to see what it means to be a true representative of the people. I will lead by example and only act in a way that makes the people of this district proud that they elected me.
And I really have to make an insertion here to call my audience to think this way, like the following. Nowadays, if you look at different levels, even the federal level, you see people setting a standard to themselves, not just in the law's eye. Just by law, I'm okay. Right. For example, my tax record, okay, and there's no indictment for my tax problem, and that means I'm okay. And then there's no charge of email or whatever thing, I'm okay. So they are always talking about the bottom line of the law as their requirement.
Yeah.
As a political, as a politician, or call it a public server, though, you really want to talk about being yourself as being a model, because you're worried about our kids. Absolutely. Am I right?
Yeah, it's not about the minimum standard of what's the minimum that I have to do to get away with. I see it as the maximum standard. How much good can I do in here? How much of a positive example can I be for our children and for the people of this district? My one promise, I don't make promises in this campaign, except for a couple. I promise, number one, that I will listen to people, that I will always be available to hear what's important to you so I can be a good representative. And number two, I will always be a very proud representative of this assembly district. And I promise the people that you will be proud to have me representing you in Sacramento. I will make the 48th Assembly District proud to have me as their representative.
That's a very sounding statement, and I believe that setting the standard, I call it a moral standard, not a legal standard. Right. So that moral standard with the worry, with the concern always as being a constant alert that our children are watching.
That's right.
Right? And I believe being a school board member gives you the special kind of a pressure of refraining yourself, right, into that category.
Yeah.
You keep thinking about, oh, come on, wake up. I'm a role model, right? Let's be a role model, like that kind.
Yes.
Very good, very
Absolutely.
good. All right. I'm very glad that we touched that. And there is a lot of part about your public service experiences, and I believe that you involved with the public service office at different levels, at the Attorney General level's office, and the state Senate, United States Senate, and also the Department of Treasury levels. At different levels, on top of that, and you added up with the school board experiences. So, and that will how those experiences help shape yourself. Shape yourself, please.
Well, I kind of see what I represent in two different ways. One of them is my legal background, and one of them is my public service. On the legal side, that's where I studied. I studied at the USC School of Accounting. I went to UCLA Law School. And while I was in school, I gained experiences at Ernst & Young. I gained experience at the California Attorney General's Office, the United States Senate in Washington, D.C., and as a litigation attorney for the United States Treasury Department. And that's really refined my skills to be a good master of the law. I understand how the law works, how it's created, how it's interpreted, and how to argue it in court. On the other side of what I do, it's my public service. And that goes back years. I've always served my community. I served my community through Kiwanis, Rotary, teaching, tutoring, career days, charitable events. That led to me running for and being elected to the Glendora School Board, where I've been serving for 3 years, doing a lot of positive change for the better for the people of Glendora. And now that's led to me running for state assembly. And I really see this campaign for state assembly as a combination of both. It's going to allow me to use both experiences, my legal background to be a good lawmaker, and my public service background to always remain focused on the people of this district and always remain focused on serving the community and doing a positive good for the people that I represent.
And that is to say that your experience is not only in a vast range, but also it is in the kind of a consistent way to build up on a strong legal, lawful foundation up to a higher moral standard.
Right, absolutely.
Right? So it's kind of like a very logic.
Yes, and my unique background has positioned me well to be successful. I always talk about the 3 things I'm going to do for this district: better public schools, a stronger job market, and safer local communities. I'm uniquely qualified to do that for these people. I'm unique. I can create better public schools because I am a school board member. I can create more jobs and a stronger economy because I'm a tax attorney with experience for the government and in the private sector. And I can create safer local communities because I'm the only candidate who's endorsed by the West Covina, and Glendora Police Officers Association.
That's the core of this district.
Right. And so those 3 most important issues that the people of this district need, I'm uniquely qualified to address all 3 of those.
All right. Thank you very much for that, and thank you very much for the statement itself. My dear audience, today with me is my good friend, one of the I always have that kind of high quality friend, high profile friend. All right, that makes me higher, right? Okay, I'm kidding. Okay, Mr. Corey Ellenson, the most hopeful candidate for the 48th District of the Assembly House of California. And I do hope, keep my finger crossed, that this district, 48, be represented in the right way. All right, the current status, the status quo is kind of so disappointing that people are anxious to see somebody new. So stay with us. We'll be right back, please. Hello, dear audiences, ladies and gentlemen, dear fellow Californians. Welcome back to the discussion about local politics, the 48th District politics, with my good friend Corey Allenson. This East-West show exclusively sponsored by Paul Battaglia and Aristo, BP Aristo, representing Italian-style shoes as well as the golf series that combines with culture and fashion and sports. Yes, about the district, 48 district, people are kind of getting worried, right? Literally for a long time, for months, we have not heard anything about the office, what the office is doing, neither either positively or negatively. Literally, it's very quiet. And word says, the news has it, the man is literally gone, something like that. And that's why it makes us anxious to see somebody new when my friend Corey Allenson kicks in as the most hopeful candidate for the district. And the difficult part is that because of the fact that our community members of 48th district have seen the downturn of the district, they are extra anxious and they are extra picky. Picky part is that they want to make sure they're not making the same mistakes by picking up the wrong candidate, right? So you are facing both sides of the coin at the same time, right? And I really appreciate the statement that he just made, not in a very strong language, but very heartfelt. It is that he wants to be a public server, not a politician, because he sees differently in being an assemblyman and doing the assembly work.
That's right.
Those are different things,
That's right?
Okay, now, speaking of doing assemblyman work though, we're talking about California. We're talking about there are only 80 of you, right? If you're in, you're one of the 80th, right? Okay, and your vote may make a huge difference, right?
Absolutely.
And your take will make a difference. And then the quality of the you has the 100% say.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, now, we have lots of problems lined up or messed up or mixed up at this very moment. Once you're taking office, I believe that you will categorize them and you will do your own work of whatever, prioritize whatever. Just let us know, take a peek of what you plan to do once you take office, please.
Sure. I've thought a lot about that lately, about what I'll do starting on
Oh,
day
yeah, it's
one.
time. Better
Absolutely.
do it. Yeah.
Well, it'll be here before we know it. I mean, I'm focused on the campaign, but still want to make sure I hit the ground running if I'm elected on November 8th. And really, the first thing I'm going to do is start to build relationships. I think that this seat in particular requires that. We need someone to go up to Sacramento and let everyone up there know that we're going to do things differently than we did before. We're going to work across the aisle. We're going to work with all people, regardless of political party. So the first thing I'm going to do is start to build relationships with the Republicans and the Democrats up there. I'd love to find some Democrats up there that see eye to eye with me on the issues that matter and get them to sponsor bills with me. Because the only way we're going to get anything done in Sacramento is if we start partnering together, is if the two political parties start to work together on those areas where they can. And that really is why that I focus my campaign on those three issues, because I think that these three issues are the three that you can have Republicans and Democrats agree. We should all agree that we need better public schools. We should all agree to invest and spend more money on our students. We should all agree that although the recession has ended, the people of California aren't doing as well as they were before. And so we need to make sure that we're investing in strengthening our economy and creating jobs. No one should disagree with that. And of course, public safety. Who can disagree that we have to provide a safe place for our people to live? So those three issues, with the relationships that I can build with Republicans and Democrats, I think is how I'm going to be successful in representing this district, in putting forward positive policy, in making laws that benefit this community. I know that I already have the ability to do so because even in this campaign, I'm endorsed by Republicans, Democrats, and independents. We're talking about council members, school board members, city treasurers across the district, Republicans, Democrats, and independents. I'm the only candidate that can say that has that broad range of support.
I would say I believe that my audience understand me why I say this, because sitting here as a host of this show, I do see the differences in between the party lines.
Sure.
And sometimes the lines are so big, I just disagree because you agree. And they disagree for the purpose of disagreeing.
Yeah.
Right? And they agree for the purpose of agreeing, and not the issue itself. Okay, now, I invite my audience to pay special attention to that quality. That I call it a quiet character. Well, of course, by that I mean you sound no partisanship, right? No partisanship, because issue is an issue, and issue itself, for example, like you said, like he just mentioned, that nobody disagrees that we need a better education. And yet, unfortunately, when a bill or proposal, whatever, is put on the table, you always come people look at it from the left and look at it from the right, and then disagreed, and then started arguing, fighting, pointing fingers, calling names, or so ever, and to a certain extent, they forgot the issue itself.
Right.
That's what's been happening for the past years after years after years, which we are so tired of.
Absolutely.
Yeah, tired of.
Absolutely.
And I want you to take an example, just by applying an example in the same situation, how you want to make the job done, the issue done, by communicating with both parties. Cross aisle, please.
Well, absolutely. Like I said, I think it's about building a relationship. It's about building a personal relationship and a foundation of trust before you do anything else. A good example of that is what I've done as a school board member in Glendora. From the very beginning, when I became a school board member, I partnered and built a relationship with our teachers union president. And we would meet regularly. We would share updates about what's been going on with me, what's been going on with her. I would share my perspective as a school board member. She would share her perspective as the teachers union president. We didn't negotiate. We didn't discuss any law or policy at all. We simply built that relationship foundation. And then when difficult times come, because they do, when an issue comes before us and we don't see eye to eye, we disagree on what the best way is forward, we fall back on that relationship.
Normally they don't communicate that
Because even though we may disagree on that, the thing we do agree on is that we trust each other. We like each other.
all right.
And we know that each of us have the same goal in mind, and that is to improve education for our students. And so with that foundation, we were able to get through a very difficult period of contract negotiations because we had that relationship of trust. And that's exactly what I'll do in Sacramento. Build those close personal relationships where as
based
two
upon
human beings,
based upon trust,
Right.
Mutual trust.
so that two human beings, regardless of our political party, we agree, we trust each other, we know each other. It becomes a lot easier to tackle the difficult issues if you trust that the person on the other side of the table is really working for the same outcome that you are.
All right. And my dear audience, the Assemblyman-to-be, Mr. Corey Allenson, calls us to go across the party line, to get to agreement with the people of the other side of the aisle, no matter where you stand. See that kind of a communication, approaching each other based upon a trust, right? That is built by how you want to build the okay, for example, between you and me, how am I supposed to make you trust me?
I think it's
And vice versa.
I think it's a combination of a couple of things. You spend time with that person, you get to know that person, find out why they're there, what their background is, talk to them about their family, talk to them about their district, why they're running and why they're here. With that, start to work on a few issues that are a little bit easier. Put forward some bills that aren't the most difficult, life-changing policies, so that you get a chance to work together and be successful on something, even if it's something small.
So you open up your mind.
Correct. You open your mind, you work together you get to know each other on a personal level, you work together on an issue that's a little bit easier to agree on, and then you really set yourself up for success when you have to tackle those bigger issues, when you know you're going to disagree on several items and not see eye to eye. You have that relationship, you have the trust, and you've worked together in the past. that is a recipe for success.
Oh, I see. I see your tactic.
Yeah.
You try to communicate with the communicate, which is built upon trust, to take care of those easy to do issues,
Correct.
easy to be great upon issues. At the resolvent of that issue, you build a further mutual trust and a further communication with which you are attacking the second issue, which is harder.
Right, right. And you show people that you are not closed-minded. Show them that you're willing to agree with them on some issues if they're willing to agree with you on others. And that's been easy for me to do. Because my politics, it doesn't come from the Republican side or the Democratic side. Some of the things I believe in come from the right. Some of the things I believe in come from the left. I'm doing what makes sense, and I don't care what side of the aisle it comes from. And if people see that, if they see that you can't put me in one box or the other, but that you should listen to what I stand for and what I believe in,
I love
because then you'll find that we agree on some things.
I really want to say honestly, I love it. And that reminds me of one proverb that I learned. Human minds are like parachutes. They function only when open. Right?
Absolutely.
That I thought is a guidance to inter-people relationship. But now I find out with this example, Mr. Corey Allenson, it is still working, still functioning in the legislature with the politics, all right? So, my dear audience, today with my friend, the most hopeful candidate of 48th District Assembly House of California, Corey Allenson, I'm having a good time, and it looks that I start to see some hope. All right, so I'm a member of the 48th District, and I'm anxious to see some change. So let's take a very short moment now. When we come back, we will continue, please. Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to the East-West Show, exclusively sponsored by BPR Risto, best known for the Paul Battaglia, the world-renowned Italian-style men's suit with both tradition and the nanotech technology, and the Aristo 18, that's a golf series that combines sports with fashion. All right. So Jack Chow, your host, with my good friend Corey Allenson, the most hopeful of 48 District of California Assembly House. Welcome, sir, once again to the show. And by the way, I seem to go back into class, my class for social politics, social science again, right? As a matter of fact, at the end of the day, I understand it is not a politics, the public service. Quote unquote, from you.
That's right.
Okay, now, with all that thing lined up, we understand this man is ready to start his work. Okay, based upon his rich experience, just not only vast in range, but by system, it is very systematic. All right, and with his concept, a beautiful concept, and I believe that he'll do a better job. He is already starting doing a better job. Speaking of preparing yourself, though, I know you have only 2 more months left.
That's right.
Barely, right?
That's right.
And it better be time or high time you did it to prioritize the problems that we have in California. What's happening in your mind now?
Well, I'm really focused. I know what's happening across the state of California, but I'm more focused on what's happening here in the 48th Assembly District. And that is something, you're right, that we have prioritized and nailed down from the very beginning of this campaign, because we wanted to make sure we're focused on the issues that matter most to people. I've knocked on thousands of doors in many cities across this district. And every time I knock on a door, I don't talk to you and tell you everything about me. Instead, I take a different approach. I knock on your door, I introduce myself, and I ask you, what's important to you?
All right. Good,
How can I be a good representative of yours in Sacramento? And I hear the same thing almost every door. They want good public schools for their kids to have a bright future.
Okay.
They want a stronger job market a healthier economy because they still don't feel that we've completely recovered from the recession. And they want safer local communities. They see crime going up in their neighborhoods, homes are being broken into, cars are being broken into, cars are being stolen, drug crimes are increasing, and they want someone who's going to address that. So those three issues are the most important. Those are the three that I absolutely must make progress on in Sacramento.
Better education, better schools, right?
Right.
And better economy, then better chances of a job opportunities, and then
Safety.
talking about safe environment, safe community.
Safe.
And those
yes.
are the three core issues
Absolutely.
that in your mind that you're preparing yourself.
Those are the three issues that I hear from every voter I talk to. On top of that, we do hear some other issues that are important. And I don't mean to diminish their importance, but I'm focused on those three. But aside from those three, I intend to make significant progress on a few other areas. People are concerned about the state of our roads. Our infrastructure here needs investment and it needs work.
You're right.
People are worried about the homelessness issue, especially in LA County, where we have something like over 40,000 people
47.
who are homeless in LA County, and that has to be addressed.
Yeah.
And they're worried about water, the state of our drought. We need to have water supply, water sustainability, so that we don't have this problem again in the future.
All right.
And the final thing are our senior citizens. With more of our population aging and becoming seniors, we have to make sure that we're prepared to take care of them, prepared to handle their income needs, help them with their transportation, help them with health care, because our senior citizens are an important part of our community.
Very good, very good. And then on top of the three major issues, you have the infrastructure.
Right, roads.
And you have the water issues. You have the homeless issues, and you have the senior issues.
Right.
And four more on top.
Absolutely.
Altogether, there are seven
That's
issues.
Right. Yeah.
Right, very good.
And within those groups, we want to pay special attention to a couple other segments of our community. We want to focus on supporting our mental health programs.
All right.
And we also want to focus on our veterans. Those that have served our country in the military, we want to make sure we're taking care of them as well.
I see. I call this a very clear-minded planning of the future jobs, because sometimes when you see problems all mixed up at the same point, you lose the ability to tell which from which, right? In other words, there are always some problems that can wait a little bit. I'm not saying they are not important, right? Because, for example, there's a building needs to be repainted. The exterior wall needs to be repainted. All right, we can do it today. We can do it a month later. Somebody dying in the emergency room, though,
Has to be done
you
today.
have to do it right at very minute.
Correct.
Right? All right. And the universal issue is that for education, everything related to the precise minute or second is our education. Because if you do not invest that way, though,
That's our future.
you fail in the long run, right?
That's our future.
I see
And
that
a
very
good-
logic.
The reason I always talk about education first, the reason I'm a school board member to begin with, is because I know that if you invest in a strong kindergarten through 12th grade public education with a strong system of higher education, everything else will become better. You will have lower crime. You will have a healthier economy.
Yes.
You will have more jobs. Everything will improve if we focus and invest in our future, which is our children, which is the next generation, because everything relies on our future.
Yeah, exactly. When you enhance your efforts on education, though, you are not only increase the numbers of hours, right? You're also reducing the street drug dealers, the gangbangers, I think like that, right? So you're doing a kind of the harvest will be right there if you keep doing so. That's something in the long run. You want to do it an emergency thing, or you want to stretch it into all your efforts?
Well, I think you got to do both, like you said. You have to address the issues that are the most important, the ones that absolutely are critical and have to be addressed now.
Okay, all right.
And to the extent you can move on to the others, you need to do that. It's unfortunate that there's so much work that needs to be done here in California. You know, I'm sure that you start your show by saying fellow Californians, right?
Yeah.
And we are all fellow Californians, and I think we're all proud of the state that we live in.
Yeah,
but we're not
right.
proud that our public school system is ranked near the bottom of any state in the country.
Thank
We're
you for
not
mentioning
proud
that. Yes.
that we have some of the highest rate. If you consider cost of living, we have the highest rate of poverty of any state in the nation. We have the highest rates of taxation, and we have high joblessness, unemployment rate, and it's just not acceptable.
Just a day ago, I was interviewing Steve Napolitano for 4th District of LA County.
Supervisor, right.
And supervisor. And he mentioned one fact that for the early release of jail, according to the jail alignment program, so about 49% going back to prison again.
Yeah.
And to him, to my surprise, the best prevention in the long run is to enhance education.
There you go.
And you guys collide.
Absolutely.
And coincidentally, there's sparkles made.
Absolutely.
Right? All right, very good. And you do not necessarily belong to the same party. And I believe this could be accepted by whichever party.
I always say that what I'm focused on are straightforward solutions to very obvious problems.
All right, very good.
That's what we all need to be doing, because we can all see the problems and the solutions are right in front of our eyes.
All right, okay.
We need to just do it.
Oh yeah, in other words, you are more confident about getting agreement in the first 3 issues across the party line.
I am confident that I can work across party lines on any issue. Those are the top 3 because they're the most important right now.
All right, very good. And Corey, I'm very sorry we're going over time.
No problem.
I really wish that we can stretch it to even longer. But today, my dear audiences, we're having a very wonderful time to share this beautiful mind with this most hopeful candidate for California House of Assembly 48th District. And Corey Ellenson, keep the name in your mind, and also the website of your campaign, please.
Our website is my name. It's CoreyEllenson.com.
One word, no dot, no nothing in between.
All one word, CoreyEllenson.com.
Okay, very good. And I hope that you will help him you will help yourself by helping him, because we're not represented right now.
Right.
We're left over. We're forgotten as being a member of the 48th District, right? You know what's happening. If you go check about the 48th District right now, on the website you will find, you know what we're talking about, right? You know why people need to see some new face in a kind of emergency, right? Good, great. Okay, to wrap it up, 30 seconds, please, your words.
Sure. Well, like I said, I don't promise a lot in this campaign, but with this year, we have an open seat in the 48th Assembly District. And an open seat in the 48th Assembly District is a rare opportunity. It only comes up every so many years. And with term limits, whoever we elect this November 8th, we could have for up to 12 years. So it's critical that the voters make the right decision. With my background, with my experience and my education, I'm uniquely qualified to address the most important issues facing this community. I will work on day one to create better public schools, a stronger job market, and safer local communities. Again, I promise you this. On day one, I will be a strong, proud, and outspoken representative of the 48th Assembly District. I will fight every day for you and for the issues that matter most to us. I will create a better community, a better place for all of us to live. If that's something that you want, then I ask for your vote on November 8th.
All right, good, very good. And I only want that promise kept.
Sure, absolutely.
All right, good. All right, my dear audiences, thank you for watching. And to Corey, thank you very much.
Jack. Always love being here. Appreciate it.